Bruce Timm didn't just have a lot to say about Harley Quinn in his interview with Entertainment Weekly describing his upcoming series, Batman Cape Crusader. Oh no, he also had some things to say about the Batman. And once again, I'm not impressed with what he has to say. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side. Welcome to part two. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Berry. Well, it's true, all of it. Previously, I talked about Bruce Timm's interview with Entertainment Weekly about how, as one of the co creators of Batman the Animated Series, he's developing a new series for Amazon Prime Video. Originally, it was supposed to be on HBO Max. They passed on it, but Amazon picked it up, so it'll be streaming this summer there. Now, he said some things about Harley Quinn, which I talked about in part one, that didn't impress me. Well, now we're going to get more into the Batman lore, and we're going to talk about that. So, continuing on with this interview with Entertainment Weekly, it's not just the costume, which harkens back to the distinct short gloves, tall boots, and heightened ears of 40s comics rather than the sleek modern batsuit. That's different, but the psychology as well. He's a really weird human being, Tim says of Batman. He's not obsessed with his parents' murder, but it changed him in a way where he's still not adjusted to being a human being. He's literally Batman. Inside, that's who he is. Whenever he's Bruce Wayne, that's not just him with a mask off, that's him wearing a person suit. He's trying to pretend to be something that he's not. Tucker adds, the idea to keep him so removed that no one knows who he is and no one knows what he's about, we try to wipe out the foregone conclusion that he's a hero, whether it's for the police, regular citizens of Gotham, or the viewers. Clayface and Catwoman also get makeovers in Cape Crusader, or more accurately, they're back to their original comic book looks. So then they talk about Catwoman real quick. We didn't do that. We didn't want to do the Batman the Animated Series Catwoman or the version that Ed Brubaker and Darwin Cook did in the early 2000s with the practical leather jumpsuit, which has become her default look in the comics and movies. Tim says, that's great. I love that, but we wanted to do something different. So we thought, let's go all the way back to the beginning. I love the original look she had in the 40s. It's purple. And then they have an animation still of her 40s outfit, which does look pretty cool. I will admit that. Tucker cites Barbara Stanwyck's performance as the title character in The Lady Eve as inspiration for Cape Crusader's Catwoman. This Selena Kyle is playful and charming, though Batman and viewers underestimate her at their peril. That episode is very fun, but also has moments that are really serious and dark. Tim says of Catwoman's appearance on the show, it's the juxtaposition of those two things that make the episode really cool. Clayface got a similar retro treatment. Don't expect the shape-shifting mud monster of Batman the Animated Series, or the Harley Quinn animated series for that matter. Let's just not worry about that show at all. Instead, Cape Crusader draws on the character's original comic book appearance, inspired by classic horror movies. All right, so this is something that annoys me about writers of Batman, whether they be a TV showrunner or even a comic book writer. It drives me nuts that they can't get Batman and his identity fixed. So this was something, and even some writers that I enjoy, this isn't limited to writers that I don't care for. Everyone wants to have this thing where Batman's in some sort of identity crisis. Is he Batman or is he Bruce Wayne? Is Batman the mask? Is Bruce Wayne the mask? Now it looks like for Batman Cape Crusader, Bruce Timm is going with the idea that Bruce Wayne is the mask and Batman is him. That was something that they did in Batman Begins. However, if you're going way back to the 40s, this wasn't an issue for Batman. Bruce Wayne was his good citizen of Gotham City persona. Batman was his outlaw persona. There was no identity crisis going on. He didn't think, oh no, I'm Batman, or oh no, I'm Bruce Wayne. He knew who he was. He was Bruce Wayne, and he was Batman in the day, Batman at night. That's how it worked for him. And it's so baffling to me that everyone wants to make this some sort of mental health crisis for Batman. That's not necessary. It never has been for any sort of Batman media, and I don't know why they do the case. The whole idea of it is not that Batman is struggling with who he is. Now, he is struggling with the trauma of losing his parents in such a violent way. That is true. But it's not this big identity crisis, and I'm kind of sick of it. If they had just been like a thing that was being debated over time, that's fine. But no, everyone wants to shove this in your face. Even fan fiction writers today, it's so stupid. Basically, what he is saying, the reason for the Batman persona is twofold. One, criminals are a superstitious, cowardly lot. And so the idea was to create a mask that would terrify them. And then the other reason is because he needs the resources of Wayne Industries and Bruce Wayne's um, wealth, let's be real, in order to bring this all together. So, to protect the Wayne legacy, that's why he dons the mask. There's no question or struggle in his mind on who he is as a person. And it's just kind of getting old. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And I just want to move on from that. Now, one of the things I should note about Bruce Timm is when he is separated from Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, he does some crazy nonsense. For instance, his adaptation of Batman the Killing Joke, the animated film, he tacked on a story arc that had nothing to do with the Killing Joke when he could have gleaned from any sort of Batman Joker confrontation or Batgirl Joker confrontation. But he did this weird ship where Bruce Wayne and Barbara, you know, became girlfriend and boyfriend, and he did that in Batman Beyond as well. Now, to be fair, in Batman and the animated series story arcs, Batman encounters Barbara when she's in college. We know that they established Dick. That's in fact they explain that's why Dick Grayson doesn't make as many appearances in the first couple of seasons. Is that he's in college, and they make it clear Barbara Gordon is uh, one of his students, and that's how they meet and date eventually. And then uh, but it's still weird. They because he's still not age appropriate for Barbara Gordon, depending on you. I'm older than my wife, so take that for what it is. But I think that when he's separated from his co-writers like Paul Dini, like Alan Burnett, he does weird nutso stuff like that, and it's off-putting and it's odd and everything in between. So I have to say, while I want to be excited for this show, just the fact that I know so much about Bruce Timm and his work, I have pause. and and it's such a shame because if this had come out 5 years ago, even maybe six, I would have it in my queue already. If you could pre-queue it on your Amazon Prime account, I would already have it just based on its trailer. But I find myself going, do I really want to put myself through another disappointment, through another, you know, show sacrificed on the altar of woke? How much political pandering are they going to insert into this show? And don't tell me that I'm crazy because they've done it with other shows related to their DC properties. You had that whole dumb scene where Batman and the Flash get wrapped up in Wonder Woman's lasso, and Batman goes off on this diatribe about helping employment, and which, by the way, Bruce Wayne does. If anyone familiar with the comics, no, even as recently as the New 52, Bruce Wayne, his whole thing was he wanted to make Gotham City a better place, and he just stops the criminal element. So I'm so sick of that, where people are like, oh, Batman's basically a cop. No, he's not. He's a vigilante, you weirdos. And me, like I said, me as a Batman fan, I should be excited about this. I should be already wearing the T-shirt. This isn't obviously related to Batman the Cape Crusader, but I should already have the T-shirt. But why is it that I'm not excited about this? It's because I've been burned so many times, and so have you. And no, quite frankly, I don't owe Bruce Timm the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, if Batman the Killing Joke didn't exist, I would probably be excited and ready to go. But between comments that he made in this interview that it took me 2 videos to go through, and then also even with Paul Dini, who I admire way more than Bruce Timm. I think Paul Dini is way more creative, just a personal opinion. But I'm not. I'm I'm going to watch it. I'm going to review it, and I'll be honest if whether it's good or not. Maybe I will be pleasantly surprised and each episode will be great. But I can't get over the fact that they want to ruin Harley Quinn on this, which I talked about in part one. They want to ruin Harley Quinn. They want to dive into the psychiatry of Batman. I don't need that. I just want to see Batman being the world's greatest detective, stopping the bad guys, kicking butt, and saving Gotham City. That's all I care about. I don't need to dive into his psychology. I don't need a rehash of Harley Quinn. I like Harley Quinn. And listen, this is a new show. She needs a new origin. But to erase both her and Bruce Wayne from their source material, it bothers me a great deal. And I'm not sure how any of us are going to feel about this. If you liked that video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also ring that little bell so you get notifications when I have a new video. And if you're watching on YouTube, consider becoming a channel member. You get all kinds of cool perks. There are 4 different tiers for you to choose from. So I highly invite you. I'm going to be doing a live stream very soon. We're going to be talking about more pop culture stuff. If you don't want to support me on big tech, that's fine. Head on over to my locals page. The link is in the description. I look forward to seeing all of you around. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die